Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Digital Classroom, and today it's about something that I tested before and it failed, and this time, thanks to one little slider, it actually succeeded. Working on the road with your files with a mix of your phone and your tablet. And this time we're going to talk about serious retouching. So join us for today's episode of Digital Classroom. Now, in the past I already tested this and it failed. Of course, when Apple released the iPad Pro, it was the replacement of your laptop. The only problem was the replacement of your laptop for what? Surfing? Yes. Consuming media? Yes. Watching a movie or reading comics? Yes. Taking some pictures? Maybe. Retouching those images? Well, maybe for Instagram, but not for a professional workflow. And trust me, I tried it, but there were a lot of things that didn't work. How do I get the images on the iPad Pro? How do I retouch the images? Can I really save them as high quality TIFFs or JPEGs? What about color spaces? What about, and the list goes on and on and on. And at one point I just said, you know what, forget about it. But things have changed and only one slider made a difference. And let's be honest, nowadays we have phones like the Huawei P30 Pro. Great phone, great quality. We have really fast tablets, and this, for example, is a Huawei M5. And yeah, we use a lot of Huawei products. And the tablet is really fast. In some terms, with 4K video, the tablet can be faster than your laptop. It's amazing, but it's true. So why don't we all use, well, a workflow that's totally mobile? Why not skip that laptop? Well, there are a few things that really bugged me the last time, and I already told you how to get the files on your tablet. Well, that has been solved. Nowadays, thanks to the DJI Copilot, you can just connect your hard drive and you can copy all your files straight into your tablet. That's really cool. But about editing, well, if you edit in software, it will often not recognize the full 40 megapixels or maybe 60 megapixels or whatever you shoot with. And you're always stuck with that JPEG quality. And Adobe RGB? Yeah, well, forget about it. So there's a lot of stuff that doesn't work. But I still like the idea of sitting in a plane and not taking my laptop out. Because let's be honest, if the guy in front of you lowers his seat, yeah, Frank can't work on a laptop anymore. He can hardly work on a tablet. So I would love to have an in-between solution. And I'm already going to tell you, this is an in-between solution, but it's a really good one. So I don't see a tablet or a phone as an end solution. It's an in-between solution. But what do I need for an in-between solution to make it professionally? For street and travel photography, Lightroom CC was already great. You can use all your presets you use on your computer. You can do some healing and cloning. And overall, as soon as you're home, everything is synced and you can use Lightroom. And that's, by the way, the most important thing. I want a solution where I can do all my work on the tablet, but at home, I want to do the final check and then export to the final TIFFs or JPEGs or whatever you want. But I want that professional end result. And well, there was one thing that was missing why I never really looked into it, and that was actually skin retouching. Now, as you know, we do a lot of model photography. And for me, it's cool to be able to do all my retouching for example, street and travel photography on my tablet, but it's even better if I can also do my model photography on the tablet. And up until now, skin retouching, that was actually the hurdle that, well, wasn't solved. There were some solutions, but in all honesty, they just sucked. So, what changed? Adobe released Lightroom CC with the texture slider. And oh my. It's already a while ago that they released it, I believe a month ago, and I didn't jump on the bandwagon right away for the very simple reason, if I tell you guys something that's really awesome and it works, I don't want you guys to invest money or time and then find out that, yeah, it doesn't work, and then hear me 1 month later like, yeah guys, it didn't work. So the last month I've been testing this and I can already tell you guys, the texture slider, that's the game changer. So let's switch over to the computer and I will show you exactly what I mean. And well, sit down, because this will blow your mind. Okay guys, and welcome in Lightroom CC. Now we're doing this in Lightroom CC for the very simple reason this will sync over all your devices, and of course it will look the same on your phone and of course on your tablet. Okay, so first things first, let's take out this part of the strobe. So I'm gonna do that with the healing brush for the very simple reason there's also a little bit of light transfer there, and I want to make sure that it looks nice. And when I use the clone tool, it doesn't take into account the luminance, of course, of the scene. So that's why we use the healing brush. Okay, there we go. Looks pretty good. Now, if you look very closely, by the way, you see here a little option called Visualize Spots. Now, it's without any doubt one of the frustrations when you shoot outside on f16 or maybe f22 for a landscape and you have those dust blobs in the sky. Now, of course, you are very careful, you take them all out, and then finally you find that there's still one there. How could you prevent that? Well, very simple, just press this, Visualize Spots. And now you can see all the spots in the scene, of course also the bird mark, so make sure you only take out in the sky, but it's a very easy way to take out dust blobs in the sky. Okay, but let's do skin retouching. Now in the past, of course, you needed to go to Photoshop for skin retouching. In Capture One there was an option to do it really nice in Capture One, but in Lightroom, in all honesty, I wasn't really satisfied with the results. The plugins are just way better. That's until Adobe released the version where you can find the texture slider, as you can see here. So let's see what it does. Now the first thing is, of course, make your brush a little bit smaller like this. So don't do it with a big brush. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the texture slider, as you can see here, all the way down, and also the clarity all the way down. Sharpness I'm going to put on 0 for now, or close to 0. And let's just start painting. And don't worry if you're a little bit sloppy, you can always use your eraser tool and get some detail back if you've done it too much. I'm not going to do the whole area, of course. I just want to show you in this area what it can do. And it's an incredibly powerful tool, as you can see in a moment. Okay. And of course, normally you do it a little bit nicer, but for the video, you know what I mean. Just want to make sure that you guys see the result. Okay, done. Now it looks a little bit fake, right? It's not really nice. And this is the cool thing, because the combination of that clarity and texture slider, that makes it really interesting. Because if I put the clarity back on 0, you can see that now we have a little bit more shadow and highlight play in the face. Let's put it on 100 and you can see it even better. This is way too much, of course. The cool thing is, with a plugin, you run the plugin, and actually in the plugin you have to set everything correctly up, and then later you can change the opacity a little bit, but that's about it. Thanks to non-destructive retouching of your raw file, and because we're in Lightroom, we can do something really cool. I can now use this clarity slider and actually just keep moving it until I see skin detail that I like. Like for example here, now it's nicely smoothened out. It's not a Barbie face, but it looks really nice. Now let's say you want a little bit more detail back here. And that's where you put the sharpness slider into work and just pull it up. And there you go. And now you can see all the nice pore detail back again. Now, the really nice thing about this version, of course, because you're working in a RAW converter, is that you can just press play, or press plus. Let's reset this slider again to 0. And let's say we want a little bit more of that effect under the eyes. There we go. So you're just stacking the result. Let's overdo it a little bit so you guys can really see what's going on. So now actually having 2 layers of skin retouching. And this, of course, again, is way too much. But you can see that you can add it up. And if you have a model that has really bad skin, this really helps you out. The cool thing about this is now, and because I've added a lot more skin smoothing, is that you can now also work a little bit more with shaping the face by using clarity, without also enhancing the pores and all the other, well, maybe things that you don't like in the face. You can still use dehaze. But in all honesty, most of the time it won't give you the results that you want unless you do it really nice and only on certain parts. I normally use dehaze a little bit for example, shaping muscle structures or whatever. It's a little bit like dots and burn, but differently. But try out dehaze also when you have something with muscles or shadows you want to enhance. It really works nicely. Now, of course, you can also use shadows and highlights on the face. But in all honesty, it's just fine-tuning something. But as you can see, it's an incredibly powerful tool you now have for skin retouching, much more than before, and that's only because of that little texture slider. Okay, now you might wonder, Frank, can you still do a little bit about this? Yes, of course. Just use your healing brush, and in this case I want to put the feather a little bit higher, and you can just click on it. And there you go, the same way that you normally did. Or if you want to take out a line, just draw a line. There you go. Okay, it's a little bit slow now because I'm also recording on the back. But as you can see, it's incredibly powerful. Okay, now of course you want to see how it was before, right? Okay. Edit. Sorry, photo. Reset to original. And make sure you sit, because otherwise you fall down. Look at the difference. Okay. Looks really, really much better. And again, if you think it's too much, and this is the incredibly cool part, you go to your brush and you can literally just press on, for example, this point. You can see the mask and you can still change everything that you don't like. There we go. Just press the brush, go here and take another point, for example, that one. So overall, thanks to the texture slider, we now have a fully working solution for even retouching fashion on location. Let's go back to the studio for the conclusion. Okay, so as you can see, it was really easy to do the retouching. And the skin, it looks absolutely awesome. Now the cool thing is that combination, I already said it in the video, between clarity and texture and sharpness. You have 3 sliders where you can literally just fine-tune your image even after tinting. But the most important thing for me, and I can't stress this enough, a tablet or a phone for me isn't the end result. And Lightroom CC, thank you so much Adobe for releasing something that syncs over all systems. Lightroom CC makes it possible to do all your work on the road and then at home sync everything and then export it with the proper settings, Adobe RGB, TIFF 16 bits, and not something that your tablet just imagines. And the same thing goes for video. At the moment we're using Power Director and I'm really waiting for Android Rush. In other words, Adobe Rush for Android. I already tested it on my tablet, but it's a P30 Pro, on my phone, the P30 Pro. You can't install it, but it just doesn't work. At this moment it only works on a selected amount of devices, like for example the Samsung, and I can't wait for Project Rush to also be released for the phone and tablet for every brand, for this very simple reason. That's gonna make also video editing on the road a lot better. Don't get me wrong, Power Director is great. We do a lot of stuff at the moment already on Power Director. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. I will make a new video very soon with the total mobile workflow, if you guys are interested. So leave comments below. But for now, I just wanted to show you guys the texture slider in Lightroom CC, because for me, that's a real game changer. It literally changes the whole spectrum from nice for Instagram to totally usable for a professional workflow. Adobe, awesome. And you guys, check it out, because Lightroom CC is free for everybody. Only if you want to use, of course, your online storage to the max, you need a subscription to Creative Cloud. But hey, let's be honest, Creative Cloud, Lightroom, Photoshop, you need it, and Adobe delivers the goods. Thank you so very much for watching, guys. If you like what we do, subscribe to our channel, leave comments below, smash that like button because we really liked it, and most of all, tell other people about it. And if you want to see other stuff in Digital Classroom, leave comments below. You never know. See you again next time. Bye guys. I'm going to retouch some stuff on my tablet because, well, with a pen, it's just so much fun now. See you again next time. Bye guys.